Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Eric from YOCAHER Skateboards. We're back at lovely Chino Hills Skate Park. We're hoping the weather starts dying down in the next couple videos. We got out here a little early today because it's going to be a hot one. So make sure to drink water and, take care of yourself, stay in the shade. But today we're doing a video that I realized Enzo told me, he's like, we haven't done a regular board slide trick tip tutorial. We've done the front board, but I was like, oh yeah, we haven't done that. And one of you guys commented like how to board slide, and that's where Enzo got the idea. So a board slide, it's probably the main trick you're gonna learn on any flat bar or rail at first. It's pretty intimidating at first because you're gonna have to balance yourself over the rail, but I'm going to show you a couple tricks and tips that will make that transition easy to get you onto one of these rails. So it's going to look something like that, I guess, but you'll be standing on it. So we're going to get into it, and hopefully, I haven't done this trick in a while. Hopefully it goes smooth. All right, see ya. Alright, so before we jump on any type of rail or anything, you want to get familiar with keeping that balance, because unlike a grind, this slide, you're going to be in the middle of your board, so you're going to have to use your balance on both sides of your legs. You don't want to lean one way too far to the left or the right, because it's going to be unbalanced, almost like a seesaw. You kind of want to get it to where that seesaw would be pretty much flush on both sides, which is pretty difficult and kind of intimidating at first. So we found this parking block, which is a perfect kind of stepping stool to the rail or the ledge that you want to get on. So what I'm doing right here is I'm just getting onto the parking block, and I'm just kind of distributing my weight, just kind of getting comfortable with how to balance pretty much on there, because like I said before, you're not going to be on the truck. When you're grinding on your trucks, it's a lot easier to balance because you kind of have like a security of being locked in by the wheel and the truck, depending on what kind of grind you're doing. But yeah, I've kind of noticed that if you're learning this trick, I believe I learned how to board slide on a parking block when I was younger, and it's just perfect. If you don't have a parking block, try to look for maybe a curb like divider that's kind of empty on both sides. Usually parking lots, you can find them, so you can just you don't have to ollie onto it just yet. You can kind of set your board down and just get balanced on it, and then next I would say try to ollie onto it, but make sure that what you're ollieing onto maybe it doesn't have any wax on it. This one has some wax that's kind of slick. If you're doing this on something that's not waxed up, then you'll be able to get on there, kind of shift your weight, feel how it's going to feel when you're on the rail or the ledge, and yeah, it's just a pretty easy kind of little hack to kind of get your confidence up there and kind of get you ready for when you're going to take it onto a ledge or a rail. So in the next part, I'm going to show you how kind of the next step up from this. We're going to be ollieing onto an edge of a ledge to kind of get you familiar with the momentum that you're going to have with the board slide, and then I'll get into everything in that, and then the next part will be getting onto the rail. Alright, so we found our ledge here at the park that we want to learn kind of the next step to getting onto something while you slide with momentum. So Enzo pointed out this ledge. This one's not too high. If you're starting out, I would recommend doing some maybe half the height of this, just if you're not comfortable with getting your ollies up that high. So right here you'll see I'm going to drop in, we'll roll in actually, and I'm going to come up with a decent amount of speed. This is a trick that you don't want to be going too slow or too fast, and you'll get that as you start jumping onto the ledge. If you go too slow, you're not going to slide and you'll stick. If you go too fast, you might slip back and the board shoots out, and yeah, it's a, you know, just throw things at the wall, kind of see what sticks for you. For me, I come at it with a decent amount of speed just because I do not want to stick, because that means I'm going forward and my board is standing still. And yeah, I'm not trying to get hurt today. So here I come, I do an ollie, but if you notice, it's a little different of a slide than it was when I was showing on the parking block, because you're almost doing it at an angle. This exercise is pretty much just getting you comfortable with moving and sliding. So you don't have to really worry about too much having your balance perfect over the ledge, because your front wheels are going to be on the deck of the ledge. So you can kind of put more pressure on the front of your board and just get comfortable with that sliding kind of motion. When we go into the rail, that's where it gets a little tricky, and you're going to want to make sure that you get onto the rail in the center of your board, and like the parking block, you're going to have to find that balance point that suits you best, and then you're going to be carrying that momentum like you did with the ledge. But there's just a little bit kind of more caution when you're doing it, because on the rail you could slip out front, back, just like on the ledge, or you could lose your board and you could land, you know, with your pelvis on the rail, which you don't want to see. It's happened to everybody that's skated rails. It's happened to me before. Yeah, it's just not fun, but after you get comfortable with it, you can start using this on so many different kind of skate park rails, or even if you want to take it into the streets. My first ever trick in the streets was actually, first ever trick on a rail was a board slide when I was maybe about 14. So yeah, it's always kind of fun to look back where you kind of started at on rails, and for the most part, I think most people start with the board slide or the front board. The front board we've also done a tutorial on. That one I like a little bit more. It's a little more stylish, but I don't know, sometimes you can't beat the good old-fashioned board slide. Okay, now it's time for the scary part. Even for me right now, it's been a while since I've done a board slide on this rail, but it's gonna be fun. We're gonna relearn it. I'll relearn it with you. So here's the rail that we're gonna be doing it on. This rail, it starts off a little lower and gradually gets a little higher, not by much, maybe by like 2 or 3 inches. So typically when you're learning on a rail, you don't want to go all in and try to do the whole rail. So I'm going to show you right where I like to get on, just to kind of get comfortable with the rail. Maybe like a foot and a half before the rail ends, just so you can have, like, say if you don't slide or you don't get on there properly, you can jump off and you don't have to worry about 6 to 8 feet of a rail standing in front of you. It's like I said, there's a lot of things that can go wrong with this. It's like with any skate trick. So many things have to go right in order for you to land the trick, but only one thing has to go wrong for you to mess up on the trick. And we don't want that to happen, so we're going to try to explain it as well as we can. So right here you see I'm board sliding the tip of the rail, maybe, like I said, like a foot back. And then as I get comfortable, I'm going to start going to the middle of the rail. So I'm going to approach it with the appropriate speed. Like I'm not going too fast, not going too slow, but if you're going to pick one, I'd rather go faster than slower, because I do not want to stick and I don't want to not get onto the rail. So if I'm going slow, my ollie's not going to be as high as if I'm rolling at a good speed, and I'm not going to feel as comfortable. So here I am, approaching the rail, ollieing, getting my board over the rail completely. I don't want to hit my truck or wheel. That's when something can go wrong. So luckily on all these attempts, we didn't have any falls. We had a couple where I kind of shot the board out and was able to jump away. But yeah, so I'm just gradually going back on the rail and getting more comfortable, starting to have some fun. Enzo's laughing, he likes to see it. And so I'm gonna go into doing the whole rail right now. So a little nervous on this one, not gonna lie. I told Enzo, here we go, and believe it or not, it's first try. Like I thought I was going down, and Enzo was about ready to laugh, but I approach it, get on. This time I had a lot of speed coming up to it just because I didn't want to get to maybe 3/4 of it through on the slide and then fall. So I'm coming at it with a pretty good amount of speed. So I hit the rail. I'm perfectly balanced. You know, I don't have my balance on, or I don't have kind of an uneven balance on my front or back part of my board. I kind of found that happy medium, and we're just cruising. And sometimes don't think about getting onto the rail and then finding your balance, because when you're coming at like a board slide on a rail like this, by the time you're on there and sliding, you're already pretty much off the rail. So it's kind of just like a mind over matter thing. Come into all these tricks with confidence, knowing that you're gonna land it, and confidence that if something goes wrong, you can, you know, not injure yourself or jump out of the way, or, you know, just do whatever it is for you to not get hurt. But I try to go into all these tricks knowing that I'm gonna land it, because any type of doubt you have, that's when things start going south. But yeah, so we'll wrap this video up, and yeah, we'll check you in the little outro. Bye. So there you have it. That is the board slide. Very fun trick. You can use it pretty much on a lot of things, not just the rail. You can do it on curbs, ledges, hubbas. You could even do it on quarter pipes, like what we have a lot at this park. It's a little bit more difficult on that. If you want to see that video, go ahead and drop a comment, drop a like, make sure you're subscribed. But yeah, that was pretty much all the keys that I have to share about a board slide. Now after doing them, like I said, I haven't done them in a while. It's actually really fun, so probably going to get back into doing some board slides and just doing a lot more fun tricks on the channel. All right, see you guys later.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. We have new videos coming out every week. And if you have any requests for any other future videos, you know where to find us.